Videos on the Dano channel are intended for audiences 13 and above. If you are 12 and under, please only watch with parental supervision. While my intended audience is PG-13, rest assured content is always family friendly and always will be. Hey everybody, welcome to the Dano channel. I am Dano and I'm back. Today we're going to be doing Black Series Mandalorian action figure review. I've already reviewed one. I reviewed my regular Mando figure. You might notice he's a little more silver than normal. And also, don't worry, I'm not going to use this washed out iMac webcam. I'll be using my phone, which is why this thing's right in front of me. And I'll probably end up knocking it and it's going to wobble. But that being said, we're going to be looking at the Mandalorian Black Series action figures. We've got IG-11, we have the Heavy Infantry Mandalorian, and we have Cara Dune. So we're going to look at all three in this one video. You're welcome. Okay, first things first. They're open. They're actually sitting back here. You can see IG-11 back there. I didn't want to put them back in the package. I opened them, because I wanted to display them. And if you follow me on Instagram, right there, if you follow me there, you'll see that I've already posted pictures of some of these. But I did want to show you the boxes real quick, because that's one of the things I like to do on here. And just kind of appreciate this artwork for a second. I love the style they do this. I need to learn how to do this kind of etched style. Reminds me of like the dollar bill type art that you see the president's done in. I have no idea what it's called. I'm not a graphic designer. But it's cool. IG-11, ages 4 and up, Hasbro. This is going to be IG-11. Is there a number? There's got to be a number on these things, right? Isn't there always a number? Don't they have a... This is weird. He has no number. Why has he no number? But I get this one, D2, for the Mandalorian... The Heavy Infantry Mandalorian. Sorry, my camera's really hard to get it into, but see, D2. But IG-11 has no number? What's up with that? That's really strange. Okay, but either way, let's read this little blurb. Notice my box was crushed. I ordered mine from Best Buy. They had a sale. Everything was like 25% off. And so I ordered mine, and I think I used an additional coupon as well. I got it for like 12 bucks. And I did the same thing under a different account to get a hold of the... this thing behind me, the Vintage Collection ATST, which I'll review in a future vid. IG-11, one of a series of dangerous assassin droids largely outlawed in the galaxy. IG-11 is a hired gun programmed to follow Bounty Hunter Guild protocols to the letter. Same thing in French, same thing in Spanish. Approved by 0 to 3 sad babies. Very nice, very nice. Cool box. Get it out of here. Let's look at the next one. We've got, again, he's out. He's already sitting on my table. Sorry to bump the camera. But there's a cool kind of etched style artwork of the Heavy Infantry Mandalorian. Now I heard, I think it was confirmed that in the show, the guy inside the Heavy Mando suit, the one that fights, like they get their Favreau blades out, and they're like about to fight and stab each other. That was Jon Favreau. That's what I've heard. Is that was Jon Favreau, little on the huskier side, like myself. Body size fits. Looks like it could be Jon Favreau. That's really cool. That's actually really cool that he's like officially a character in Star Wars. So this is the back of the box. Again, that same artwork, really big. The blurb says, Heavy Infantry Mandalorian, a brawny warrior encased in the strongest Beskar armor. Mysterious Heavy Infantry Mandalorian is part of a secretive enclave of his people. A born survivor, he guards precious armory and helps to keep the flames of Mandalorian heritage flickering in this time of galactic chaos. Same thing in French, same thing in Spanish, same thing in German, same thing in Italian. Approved by 0 to 3 sad babies. Now, speaking of 0 to 3 sad babies, some people call them a notification squad. Some people call it, I don't know, there's all kinds of names. I call my people, those of you who have notifications turned on and you're subscribed to the channel, that's my sad baby squad. In fact, I named my droid. You guys actually named. I was like, where's S4D? This is S4D, before BY. Sad baby. You might even be able to see the little... There's even a little teardrop on the eye right there. But this is S4D B4BY. Named because of you guys. So if you're subscribed, if you have the notifications turned on, you're part of that squad. You're part of the 0 to 3 sad babies that approve every one of these toys. And my videos sometimes. Alright, the last one I got. I picked this up just recently at Target last week. This is Cara Dune from episode 4, or chapter 4. So it's Sanctuary. Looks good. I mean, Gina Carano looks great there. I love the little... I guess it'd be this side, right? Yeah, this side? Yeah. I'm in a mirror. This side, the little tattoo. I might just get one. I have no tattoos. I would never do. I probably wouldn't. Let's just never say never. I'm maybe a little too old for that. 36-year-old man playing with toys. I'm going to get a tattoo of Star Wars on my face. Face tattoos is a bit much. Let's see here. She is number 101, Cara Dune. Whoop, almost lost it. Ooh, it's almost official, but it's not quite. Let's read the blurb from Miss Dune, a veteran of the Galactic Civil War who fought for the rebellion. Cara Dune is a seasoned warrior who has put her days of military discipline behind her and now has reinvented herself as a mercenary. Same thing in French, same thing in Spanish, same thing in Italian, same thing in German? I don't know. But again, approved by 0 to 3 of the saddest little babies you ever seen. Boom. Speaking of sad baby, I was like, speaking of sad baby, can you see it? There's a sad baby squad sticker right there. And there's all the figures. Let's actually tilt this up a little bit, as much as it'll allow me to. And let's start off with Mr. IG, as played by Taika Waititi, director Taika Waititi. I am not big into Black Series figures. I don't collect Black Series figures. And actually, you know what, just for background, I'm going to put my custom, so you guys can see him a little bit better. My custom Mando, I just painted him more silverish. I used some rub and buff and just kind of like, I was like, well, no, he doesn't, because the regular one doesn't have a lot of silver. I even painted it wrong. That one's not supposed to be silver, this one right here. So, oops, whatever. I'll just keep customizing him. And when they come back out in March, because they're going to be re-released in March, I believe, part of the next wave of Black Series, which I now collect. Thank you, Mandalorian. I have an issue with $20 a figure. I don't like that, which is why I got this one cheap. I used the coupons and everything. Got this cheap, or $30 for the Heavy Mandalorian. That's a lot. What we're looking at, 20 for like retail price, 20, 40, Cara Dune 60, and then 30, but $90 in these 4 figures is toys. Why is it so much? Well, I'll tell you why. The IG unit is really, really cool. So first off, we get some head articulation. I need to look up and see what the front and what the back is. I was playing with it and rotating it, and I was like, oh, shoot. I don't even know if there is a front or back. There's a lot going on here. There's stuff that you could kind of consider eyes by the red. There's this little, like, thing at the front. I don't know if that's supposed to be at the front or if that's supposed to be at the back. But they all kind of work. The other thing here is he has, so you can see that gap right there where my finger is. He has this, like, chest articulation. But the bandoliers, little belts, kind of keep him from rotating as well as he did in the show. But he does rotate. You can see it right there. He definitely does rotate. His bandolier has a holster for this smaller pistol. He also has the larger pulse rifle, which you can see here. Really cool, decently detailed. There's a little bit of like silverish gray paint on there. You can see they added for detail. Kind of nice, kind of nice. But this part that we saw swivel, it also goes kind of back and forth like that. But these arms, the articulation on these is cool too, because these sockets that they're in, they can go in, they can go down a little bit, but they fully rotate all the way around. But they can also pop out, so you can do those kind of cool like moves like he did in the show, which I really like. And both arms do that. But then there's this little accordion thing that when you bend it, it's like rubbery kind of feeling. It's kind of, see how it moves a little bit? It feels very rubbery, which I don't know how long that's going to last, to be honest. But again, there's the smaller gun. Now, the thing I like about the smaller guns, or actually all of the guns, is they have this peg built into his hands, built into his little hands. Because at first I was like, how the heck is he going to hold these things? And if we look close, there's a hole at the bottom of the blaster. So the little thing goes in, and then you find the hole in the blaster, and it goes right with that little peg, and it stays in nicely. And we have the same thing on this one. See the little peg? And you find it, and it sits in there, and it stays in his hands very, very nicely, which I think is a really cool design. Like, that's awesome. And I had, before I was really, really into Star Wars collecting, back in like 96 when I first got into Star Wars. I was a little bit of a late bloomer on the Star Wars front. But for me, I was like in 6th grade, I think, going into 7th grade. And I really got into it, and I think my dad went to like a flea market or something, and he came back with like a Chewbacca, vintage Chewbacca, because it was 96, so there was Power of the Force newer stuff starting to come out, I think. But he got me a vintage Chewbacca, which I don't have anymore. He got me a vintage IG-88, and I had no clue what it was, because I had just gotten into Star Wars, and I just started like getting into it, and I didn't even realize he was a background on Empire. And like maybe one other weirdo figure that I was like, I don't even know what that is. So it's kind of cool to have another one of these. I like the paint. I like the different colors. There's like, you know, some parts are more copper looking, some parts are definitely more darker chrome, like silver, not chrome, but like a silver. And he looks good. I just like all the little details. I took it out of his hand. But I do like all these little details. I like the posability of this figure. It stands up decently. It wasn't too hard to get him to stand up right then, which is a plus. That was one of my pet peeves. The legs do move up, and then you can also bend the knees. The joints in the knees look a little small, and that is worrisome. Also, right here at the, see where it's rotating right there? So both legs rotate at that same part. I guess it's a thigh. It's like an upper thigh rotation. But yeah, no direct torso, like down here, rotation. But yes, rotation up here on the chest. And then, okay, the legs also rotate in and out, and those are posable as well. So there's a lot of posability on the IG unit. I think he's really cool. Actually, one of my favorite figures. I kind of couldn't pass it up. Once I saw it, I was like, nah, I'm going to have that. The next one I purchased was the Heavy. Look at this guy, Jon Favreau. Stare right down the barrel of his gun there. Maybe we can get it to focus a little bit. No, maybe, kind of. There you go. You can see a little bit of the coloration they tried to get with the blaster. Okay, it's a little darker at the front, silver in the middle. A little gradient going on there. Very nice. Again, there's a couple ways for him to hold this. That's a handle. He also has a handle at the back of the blaster that I've got mine grabbing on here. And then I've got him grabbing on like another trigger on this side. So there are a couple different ways to orient it. You can remove his hands from it. Take it off. And it actually will clip on. There's a little hole back here. You can clip it on. I'm just going to figure out where. To his backpack, I believe. There you go. It clips on. So he doesn't have to. He can also just be posed however. The one thing I don't love about these is I feel like the paint looks a little bright. Like for $20, the paint applications are cool. I like the little damage he's got all over his helmet and his armor and everything. That's cool. That's really well done. But it definitely looks, I mean, it looks like a toy. I don't know. I just want like slightly different colors in the plastic that would look a little better, a little more realistic for $30. For $30. Come on. And it has a little bit of light weathering, and I think that looks good. It's just for me. I'm one of those 5 POA collectors. I'm like reluctantly buying vintage collection, as you can see back there. I'm reluctantly buying Black Series because I like that 5 POA, just one arm. But the truth is, and I've said this in another video recently, Force Awakens 5 POA, the basic action figure, your $7, just basic 3.75 inch, 5 points of articulation, usually head, arms, and legs. 2 legs, 2 arms, 1 head, and that's it. Those figures usually went for about $7. They were trash when Force Awakens came out. They were poorly painted, poorly sculpted. Rogue One, sculpts got better. Way better. Last Jedi, sculpts got better. The Solo figures have some of the best sculpts, but not only did the sculpts get better, they were considered 5 POA figures, and these are like multiple. You have head, bobbing, turning, moving, arms go in and out like this, they rotate fully, same with the elbows, same with the wrists. But we saw in those older figures, or sorry, the Solo figures, the Last Jedi figures, and even some of the Rogue One, it wasn't just 5 POA, there were wrist movements. Some had ankles, some had knee movements. So it was more than 5 POA, even though they were being sold at the 5 POA price. So now to have to be like forced into getting this, I keep pointing the vintage back there. And even these Black Series, I knocked them over, it's official. Even these Black Series, it's rough. I mean, they're fully articulated. Like, again, you see the rotation in the arm there, but then it also has a nice bend. The rocket pack does come off, and so does this little thing here, but I had a hard time getting this little hose to go in and stay in, so I'm not going to be removing it. But just so you guys can see for the video purposes, there's his back, there's his back, there's his head. He has a little antenna. Again, I like the figure, but I feel like, man, did I really, like, $30? $30. That's a lot. And some nice knee movement. Again, the legs do move. There is, see, there's a little up in the upper thigh. There's a little bit of movement there that you can do. You can rotate it. I believe the other one has the same. Yeah, there's a little seam right there. You can see it. But because of the way his armor's constructed, it kind of gets in the way a little bit. Like his codpiece kind of gets in the way of some of it, so you can't go too far. So while he is articulated, he's kind of got one basic pose. You know, you can bend the knees. You can, like, they will bend, see? But as far as, like, what you can actually pose him doing, he would look cool if you had one of those clear stands and you wanted to, like, Photoshop in some rockets or something, you know, some fire in the back, so it looked like he was rocketing off. That would be a cool... Then you could bend the legs and, like, kind of point the toes down and get a real cool pose out of him that way. You know, you get what I'm saying? Like, I think that's cool. He is a good-looking figure. He's really neat. Like, I'm not mad that I have him. It's just the $30 price point is something I'll never get over, I don't think, for a toy. and I look at my room. Look at my room. Like, I spend money on toys. Like, I've done it. But the fact that I'm reluctantly doing anything, you know, I'm like, I really want these Mando figures because I love the show. I love what they've been doing. And I really want... When I really like something like Star Wars, I bring it home with me. I wear it on myself. I make it part of my everyday life. That's why I have this channel, because I love Star Wars so much that I want to keep it going even when I can't watch Star Wars. So, when they get me to the point where I'm like, I really want Mando stuff, it's like, but they're only making it in this scale, and this type, and I feel like my arm's been twisted. I'm like, alright, I'll get it. And that's not a good relationship to have with customers, I think. And maybe I'm in the minority. Maybe other people are just like happy. Like, nope, I love them super articulated. I love them big. That's it. Cool. Good on you. If that's your thing, right on. It's just not mine. So here is Cara Dune. I saw pictures online of this a few weeks ago, and I thought she looked more like Gina Carano in the photos I saw of other people. This one, I'd say the likeness from certain angles is there. Like, that angle, that's good. From this angle, like front angle, not so much. Not so much at all. I wonder if we can get a good look. Let's see if we zoom in a little bit. You can kind of see it. Even with the naked eye, I can barely see it. Let's see how much we can zoom in. Yeah, you can kind of see that thing. Yeah, it's whatever. I wish it was a little better. But either way, sorry for the wobbles. She's got some good articulation. Again, she has that thigh. But again, if you move it, you'll misalign the fabric of the armor. I don't know. For me, visually, that's a thing. That is a thing that just bugs me. I'm like, no, it should be aligned perfectly. She does come with this cool, like, Gatling gun, kind of double Gatling gun blaster. I am not good with these figures, as I mentioned before. I'm not super experienced with posing them and everything. I wasn't even sure where to put her little blade. I'm assuming it's a vibro blade. I just stuck it in her belt. But she comes with that. She comes with this gun. I'm going to remove it. Well, I kind of don't want to remove it. It's the same articulation. This video is going to go long anyways. She does have her blaster with a little, like, holster clip that'll keep it in there. But she also has this large gun and a sling that she can sling it over her shoulders. I don't know that I even put that on the right way. This might even be in the wrong hands. It might have been switched the other way, because I couldn't figure out how to get this strap thing right. Maybe that is right, but I feel like if that was me shooting, having that strap over my hand like this would just bug the heck out of me. I would hold it from under and not over, but the handle is over. So again, I don't know much about guns. I don't know much about posing these figures. But I feel like my right hand would be my trigger finger, and my left hand would be used to stabilize, which is why I have her posed this way. So, but again, that strap, oh, there it is, twice. It's in the way. We even changed scenes thanks to Mando there. That's awesome. Well, not Mando, but Heavy Mando. But guys, what do you think? What do you think of these figures? I really like the Cara Dune figure. I'm going to raise her arms a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better some of that detail. Look at the texture on her clothing. It's really cool. I really, really like this figure. I like the kind of like belly area, the little stomach area. She's got some good articulation there. Really poseable. I liked her character in the show. I was really stoked on Cara Dune. See this? It came out. Because it's not solid and you have to like kind of clip it on, it does fall out fairly easily. And again, now it's not over her shoulder. So this thing, that gave me trouble. I wish the likeness of her was a little bit more like Gina Carano. But it's still a cool figure. I'm still glad I have it. But I can't wait for the vintage collection, because that's been shown at, like, I think Paris Comic-Con or some other stuff. Hasbro in their presentations have shown we're getting vintage collections, 3.75 inch scale. But of course, it's going to be super posable version of Cara Dune, Gina Carano's character, Mandalorian for sure. Those are the only two I think that we've seen official things of, like Mando and Cara Dune. I hope we get everyone else in that scale, because 3.75 inch is my scale. That's what I choose to collect. That's what I love the most. But guys, I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about these Black Series figures? Should I keep collecting them? Should I keep going? I am enjoying them. I'm going to take some pictures and probably put them up in my little diorama, and I have fun with them, but I want to know your thoughts. What do you think? Do you collect them? Do you have all of them? Again, I got Best Buy for this one. Target is where I found her. IG-11 I ordered from bestbuy.com. And the Mando I got at a local toy store called Rogue Toys.
Click
so that's where I found them. If you're a collector and you have good hints as to where others can find this stuff, feel free to leave links or tell people where, because a lot of times in the comments down below, people come and they read and they're like, oh, where'd you get it? And I may not be able to answer, and you may have a better answer than I do. So be sure to leave that stuff in the comments. We have a really good community of toy collectors and other like-minded people here. So leave it down below. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the thumbs up if you like this kind of stuff. Notifications, are they on? Do you have it set to all? I hope you do. That way you don't miss my next video. But until that next video, you guys need to know that I love you. And until next time, may the Force have with you. And goodbye forever.
Hey, you! While you're sitting there wondering what to watch next, ask yourself this. Do you love Star Wars? Do you love being ridiculous? Well, you're going to love being subscribed to the Dano channel, and I would love to have you here. So make sure you subscribe before you go. But if not, click on one of those two boxes for a video that I suggest that you should watch.
May the Force be with you. Good. Bye. Forever.